Hi friends, today's class I am starting a new chapter called as Partnership Accounts. I think you all might have learned about partnership accounts, partnership in law, Partnership Act 1932, and minimum number of partners and partnership deed, etc. So in today's class, I'm only focusing on the accounts part of it. This is very important, you should understand. I'm only focusing on accounts part of it. So the entire partnership account, to have the structure of the chapter, is a big chapter, is being divided into like fundamentals of partnership, and then we'll be discussing about admission of a partner, retirement of a partner, fundamentals, admission of a partner, fundamentals, admission of a partner, retirement of a partner, admission come retirement, and death of a partner. So these are the few things you are having. This is what the overall subject. I think it's a lengthy chapter, but I think I'll be explaining you. Initially, I'll be taking you to which chapter? Fundamentals. Is this clear? So let me begin with today's class. I'm going to start about the fundamentals. See, the any organization, be like you got three types of organization: sole proprietary concerns, partnership concerns, and uh, company, joint stock company. See, the objective of any business, be it a small or a medium size or a big, the objective is to ascertain results. So, in partnership fundamentals, what I am going to explain you, that first let me start about the partnership final accounts. Sir, you are talking about fundamentals. Why you are talking with? Why you are starting with partnership final accounts? See, okay, we'll do one thing before I take you to partnership final accounts logic. Uh, in fundamentals, in fundamentals, let me begin with the meaning or definition. You know that two or more persons are joined together for doing a business carried on by all or anyone acting for all. You might have learned that definition in partnership. Two or more persons who are engaged in partnership business, carrying all or any one of them acting for all is the definition part you have learned in partnership act. So this has been covered already in partnership act. And the second part is statutory limit. This also has been discussed, minimum to maximum 50. Originally it is maximum 100, but as per Ministry of Corporate Affairs guidelines, maximum is 50. I think this also you might have learned. Then comes partnership deed. partnership deed, these three things has been covered in Partnership Act. Am I right? All these things have been covered in Partnership Act. This is also covered in Act. Statute limit is also being covered in Act. Partnership deed is also being covered in Act. Is this clear to all of you? So I think these things has been learned in law. I'm not talking about it. This topic is partnership accounts, no? So when you talk about partnership accounts, my dear friends, here I'm focusing on. I'm not talking about the partnership deed, the name of the partnership firm, the nature of the business. I'm not talking about these things. The capital to be brought in, the profit sharing ratio, etc. So, what I am starting, the partnership deed, what are the content that is related to partnership account that I am focusing? What are the items from partnership deed which is related to partnership, for related to partnership accounts? Today's class I want to discuss with you. So what are the items in partnership deed which is related to partnership accounts? If you look into it, here the items from partnership deed which are related for doing the partnership accounts is about profit sharing ratio. Then you talk about interest on capital. Then you talk about interest on drawings. Then you talk about partner's salary. Then you talk about partner's commission. Then you talk about interest on loan advanced by partners. So these are the things. PSR means here profit sharing ratio. So when you talk about these things in partnership deed, profit sharing ratio, interest on capital, interest on drawings, partner's salary, partner's commission, interest on loan advanced by, interest on loan advanced by partner, interest on loan advanced by partner, that means partner has given loan. If there is agreement on these things which is there in the partnership deed, you know, partnership is agreement between the partners. It should be in writing. Partnership agreement can be in writing or it can be oral. When you talk about partnership deed, obviously it is in writing. Is this clear? In this case, the agreement on these things, profit sharing ratio, interest on capital, interest on drawings, partner's salary, partner's commission, interest on loan, has to be there. I think what is profit sharing ratio, sir? How the profit will be distributed, how the profit will be shared, how the losses will be shared, that will be mentioned profit sharing ratio. Interest on capital, like the partners will be investing the amount into the business, on that according to their interest, according to their contribution, they will be entitled to get interest. Similarly, interest on drawings, whatever the partners are withdrawing the drawings from the business, I think on that they are liable to pay some interest to the business. Interest on capital is an expense to the partnership firm, whereas income to the partners. Whereas interest on drawings is an income to the partnership firm and expense to the partners. Partner's salary, I think partner's salary, partner's commission also can be called as remuneration. It is also called as remuneration. Like sometimes there are some active partners and there are sleeping partners or dormant partners. When we talk about the involvement of the partners who are really looking into the affairs of the business and they are taking active part, normally they will be asking some remuneration. It can be in the form of salary, it can be in the form of commission. So whether agreement provides to pay salary to partners, agreement provides to pay partners commission, etc., has to be seen. The similar interest on loan, like partner instead of borrowing the money from the outsiders, if the firm needs, one of the partners came forward, I am going to give you some loan to the firm, and on that he is expecting some rate of interest. I think this is also is being called as advance by partner. I think on these issues, there will be an agreement. Now the question is that now I am starting the lecture, today's lecture, with this. In the absence of agreement, in the absence of agreement, provisions of Partnership Act is applicable. Provisions of Partnership Act is applicable. In the absence of agreement, provisions of the Partnership Act is applicable. What are those provisions here? Point number 1. Profit sharing ratio is equal. In the absence of agreement, profit sharing ratio is equal. No interest on capital. There will be no interest on capital to any partner. No interest on drawings. Okay, is this clear? No interest on capital, no interest on drawings, and then no salary to any partner, no commission to any partner, and interest on loan advanced by a partner interest will be levied interest will be charged at the rate of 6% simple interest per annum. I think I told you partnership deed will contain these things. If in the absence of agreement, provisions of Partnership Act is applicable. According to that, profit sharing ratio is equal, no interest on capital, no interest on drawings, no salary to any partner, no commission to any partner, whereas interest on advanced partner by partner, interest will be charged at the rate of 6% simple interest per annum. Here is this clear to all of you? Partnership firm is not going to pay any interest to any partner. Interest on drawings will be collected from the partners, and no interest on drawings will be collected from the partners, no salary to any partner, no commission to any partner. So the question arises when there is no, in the absence of agreement, when there is no agreement. I think these are the first important point which is related to partnership accounts. Whenever you are doing partnership accounts, I think these 6 things you need to look into it for doing the problem in fundamentals. Okay. Then second point, I'll be discussing today about in fundamentals partnership final accounts. Partnership final accounts. In the previous chapter which has been concluded, we have learned sole proprietary concern, be it non-manufacturing entity or manufacturing entity. We have learned final accounts there. Now in today's class, partnership final accounts, we will be learning in partnership final accounts. Actually, what is partnership final account? How to prepare trading account, Profit and loss account. Balance sheet. If it is a manufacturing concern, manufacturing account also they have to prepare. If it is a manufacturing concern. So manufacturing account you have to prepare if it is a manufacturing concern. Trading account you have to prepare. If you prepare manufacturing account, you have seen manufacturing account, trading account, P&L account, balance sheet you have to prepare. Normally we have seen in case of final accounts of sole proprietary concern. If it is not a manufacturing, you start from which account? Trading account. This is handling. This is optional. If it is a manufacturer, you have to prepare manufacturing. Otherwise, you start with trading account, P&L account, P&L appropriation, balance sheet. Now, see if you look at your syllabus, foundation syllabus, you don't have partnership final accounts. Even if you look at CA Inter, you don't have partnership final accounts, but you are having company final accounts. Sir, then when we will be learning partnership final accounts? Simple. The format of sole proprietary concern, final accounts of sole proprietary concern, is also same for partnership final accounts. That is why at the time of framing the syllabus, you don't have manufacturing account problem relating to, you don't have problem relating to trading account, you don't have problem relating to profit and loss account. That means in partnership fundamentals, we will be discussing about only these things. Is this clear? Even the balance sheet format also, where you have learned, my dear friends, the balance sheet format also has been learned in sole proprietary concern. This you have learned in sole proprietor. This also you have learned. This also you have learned. This also you have learned in where? Sole proprietor. So you should understand the format you have learned. So which one you will be learning today's class? How to prepare P&L appropriation account. So now the learning objective, if you look into it, learning objective of partnership. From here I am starting now. Fundamentals. Learning objective of partnership fundamentals. Is this clear? As I told you, manufacturing account format is same like sole proprietor. Trading account format is same like sole proprietor. P&L account format is same like sole proprietor. Then P&L appropriation account is a new account you will be learning in partnership accounts. And sole proprietor balance sheet of partnership is same like sole proprietary concern. I repeat once again, manufacturing account, trading account, P&L account, balance sheet format for partnership is same as sole proprietary concern. Even for preparing the final accounts, the trial balance is a source. The trial balance, it can be sole proprietor, it can be partnership, or it can be company. It is containing ledger balances, personal, real, nominal. So if you learn appropriation account, now I think you should have a confidence. If you learn appropriation account, you should feel that yes, you can do final accounts. You agree with me? But since there are minimum 2, or sometimes you may have more than 2 also, because limit is 50. If it exceeds 50, it becomes illegal association. Then you need to follow, you need to form a company, joint stock company. So what I am trying to tell you, if it is only one person, like we have seen sole proprietor, we haven't opened capital account, am I right? The capital account directly we have taken to balance sheet. But since in partnership, you may have more than one, right? Minimum is 2. You may have more than 2 or more than 2. That is why you will be learning objective is, apart from the learning objective, I am telling you, my dear friends, the learning objective, what I will be explaining you is that first we will be discussing profit and loss, appropriation account. You can expect a short question on this. Then methods of capital accounts. Profit and loss appropriation account and methods of capital account. These two things will be, you will be learning in fundamental. That's it. With this, fundamentals will be completed. Then we can move on to where? Admission of a partner. These two things we learn and we work out some problems. Then before you go to admission, retirement, death, there is a small topic called as goodwill that we'll be discussing later on. So in today's class, my emphasis will be on which one? Today's class, profit and loss appropriation account. Sir, what is profit and loss? You know profit and loss, but what is appropriation? Appropriation is nothing but distributing. What is distribution? Distribution of surplus. What is surplus, sir? After preparing, profit and loss account, you will get net profit, no? And that net profit is to be apportioned. How it is to be apportioned? Apportioned to whom? Distributed to whom? To the partners. Sir, what is that? How you distribute? Simple, no, sir. Profit sharing issue. No, no, no. In partnership deed, we have seen. Partnership deed, the main topics, things I have told you. Interest on capital you need to pay. Interest on capital from where you can pay? Out of profit. Interest on drawings you need to collect, it increases profit. Salary you need to pay. Commission you need to pay. Interest on loan you need to pay. That is why I think this appropriation account is significant. So today, let me begin with the format of P&L appropriation account. Then we discuss few things on appropriation account. Profit and loss, P&L, appropriation account. So format of P&L appropriation account. Now, if you look into it, you start writing net profit brought down, transfer from P&L account. Then buy interest on drawings. I told you interest on drawings is an income. Suppose there are three partners X, Y, Z, and whatever the interest you collect from them is an income that will be taken to which side? Credit side. Because P&L appropriation account is a nominal account, no, my dear friends. Net profit brought down, transfer from P&L account. Interest on drawings. Interest on drawings is an income to whom? Partners. Then come back to this. Interest on drawings, income to the partnership firm, whereas expense to partners. Interest on capital. Suppose there are three partners. All three are eligible. Then 2. Partner salary. 2. Partner salary is, I am writing all are eligible, or as per agreement you may be paying to only 1 or 2 partners. I am writing possibility. That means 3 partners are eligible or 1 partner may be eligible. That is why I am writing 3. 2. Partners commission. We are writing, it's not that only XYZ. Any one partner can get commission or all partners can get commission according to their agreement. Then, so you have seen that net profit, interest on drawings, interest on capital, partner's salary, partner's commission. Sometimes if interest on loan is actually charge. It is not an appropriation. That note I will explain later on. I am writing star. Interest on loan will be debited to appropriation account if it is not debited to profit and loss account. That I will explain as a note. Then sometimes you will be transferring a percentage of profit to a general reserve. The general reserve transfer can be before appropriation or after appropriation, depending upon the instruction that is being given in the problem. Then we will be getting profit carry down. Profit carry down. This profit carry down is transferred to whom? Partners according to their profit sharing ratio. PSR is nothing but profit sharing ratio. Is this clear to all of you? I think this is the format of P&L appropriation account. Now let me explain on this first interest on loan, then I will be giving some notes on this. Interest on loan to a partner who advanced the loan is a charge. Is a charge means it is to be debited to profit and loss account. If it is not debited to P&L account, then it can be debited to P&L appropriation account. Now, here you should understand, sir, what is charge, sir? No profit, no loss, it will be debited. Appropriation means you can distribute only when there are profits. The word appropriation is that If you got profit, then only you can distribute. That is why here I've started problem explaining which one, appropriation account. Some people they also call this P&L adjustment, but better to use the word appropriation. The reason is that P&L adjustment you will be confused because you learned in rectification of errors also. Okay, unless they are asking you specifically to open P&L adjustment in partnership, if it is not related to rectification of errors, then you can open. Otherwise, most of you people have learned in intermediate also at 12th class standard that you have learned P&L appropriation account. Now, let me explain few points. That means this interest on loan generally will be debited to where? Profit and loss account. Before you get which one? Net profit. Net profit. If interest on loan is not debited to profit and loss account, it can be debited to appropriation. The reason is why we debit to P&L account, because whether you got profit or no profit, interest is to be paid. You can't say we don't have profit, so that we can't give you interest. You'll be learning that in company accounts also, debenture interest is a charge. Please remember, we'll be discussing that when you go to company accounts. Charge means, please pay attention. Charge means either you got profit or no profit, it is to be paid. You can't say that we don't have profit. Whatever the expenses you show in P&L account, they all are charged, my dear friends. Employees to employees, you can't say they have taken the services. Sorry, we don't have profit, we can't pay. Employees won't stop. They will be challenging the management in the court of law. Email electricity bill you have to pay, and you can't say no, sorry, we don't have profit, we can't pay electricity bill. Next day power cut. They will be taking initially legal action. So that is what is called a charge. Profit and loss account item charge. That is why in profit and loss account the possibility of getting net loss also. If you get net loss, this appropriation account doesn't have any significance. But doing the problem you can do. That is depending upon the agreement. If interest on capital is all charge, partner's salary is also charged, partner's commission is also charged. If these all are charged, if these are all are charges, then even you don't have profit, this has to be paid. But from CA Foundation topic point of view, we assume that these all are appropriation. In the material also, they have given the same thing. In the material also they have given the same thing. So please remember, P&L appropriation. Once again I am telling you, we are treating as an appropriation, means it's not a charge item. That is why interest on capital, salary, commission, etc. you can pay only when you got profit. No profit, we can't pay these things. We will be discussing that in the notes to accounts. Okay. Now, so far I have given overall picture about appropriation account. I think it's clear to all of you. Net profit, interest on drawings to pay to partners, interest on capital paid to partners, salary paid to partners, partners commission, interest on loan, and sometimes out of a profit you can do appropriation, means you can keep aside general reserve is for maintaining, general reserve you maintain is for future unforeseen expenses or losses. For that purpose, you create which reserve, my dear friend? General reserve. The reserve, in two-wheelers also is having reserve. Two-wheeler vehicle, approximately 1.25 liters will be in the form of reserve. Why you will be having reserve in petrol, in two-wheeler vehicle? The reason is something suddenly, in case of emergency, you can use the reserve. And suddenly you will be having on button, reserve button, off button. If suddenly vehicle stops, it indicates that petrol has come to reserve. That reserve you can use only in the case of emergency. If you use the entire reserve, finally you have to push the vehicle. Right. So same, to explain the concept, general reserve for you out of profits before you distribute to partners, you want to keep aside some portion for meeting future unfold. General, the word means it can be used for any purpose. Specific reserve is for particular purpose if you can create. General reserve means no specific. That amount can be used for anything. It is called a general reserve. Specific reserve, that we will be discussing these things when we go to not for profit making organization. Okay. So now coming back to this. So this is clear to you. Now I will be explaining notes to accounts. Notes to P&L appropriation. Let me notes on rather. Notes on P&L appropriations. Now, first I'll orally explain and will be writing there. P&L appropriation account is an extension of profit and loss account. Repeat once again. Profit and loss appropriation account is an extension of profit and loss account. This account is being prepared to find out divisible profit. P&L appropriation account is an extension of profit and loss account. This account is being prepared to find out net divisible profit. Is this clear? Here I am writing this account means P&L appropriation. This account is an extension of profit and loss account. Extension of profit and loss account. And this account is prepared to find out net divisible profits. Or distributable profits. This account is an extension of profit and loss account. This account is prepared to find out net divisible profit or distributable profit. Distributable profits to partners. Is this clear? That means, as I told you, here the purpose of this account is to finally to transfer the profits to whom? This is transferred to partners. They are called as distributable profit. These profits are transferred to partner. This is the objective. And this account is called as below line items. This account is called as below line item. Above line item is profit and loss account. Simple words, when you prepare P&L account, under that you are having which account? Appropriation account. So above appropriation you are having profit and loss account. That is why technically people will be using an accounting term below line item. Just for your knowledge sake, I am explaining below line item. P&L appropriation account is called as below line item. Above line item is which one? Profit and loss account. And the second point, I will be explaining one after the other. So I have explained about this what is it called as profit. Then let me start with first interest on capital. Is this clear? So here I am giving few points on treatment of interest on capital. Interest on capital is calculated on opening balances. Interest on capital is calculated on opening balances. Please remember, what is opening balance? In the beginning of the year. That is in the unless there is a permanent withdrawal of capital or additional capital. That means generally interest on capital is calculated on opening balance, that is in the beginning of the year, unless there is a permanent. Suppose I got capital of 1 lakh. A, B is having 50,000. In future, A and B have decided to maintain same capital because they are sharing profits equally. So A will reduce 1 lakh to 50,000. So then what happened? That from 1 lakh 50,000 is permanent withdrawal. Okay. Or suppose A is having 1 lakh, B is having 50. In future, they want to maintain the capitals equally, and they also want to maintain profit sharing ratio equally. Now A wants to retain the same capital. Now B is going to bring additional capital of 50. So B's capital is now has become 1 lakh. It is called as additional capital. So unless there is a permanent withdrawal of capital or additional capital, interest on capital is generally calculated. I'm using the word generally calculated on opening balances. Is this clear? Unless whatever is being given the problem, but generally interest on capital is calculated on opening capital. Here I am writing a note. No interest is charged on partners' current accounts. No interest is charged on partners' current account. That means, as I told you, what is current account, capital account, we will be discussing in the next, after completion of P&L appropriation. Current account, capital account, this is called as methods of capital, fixed capital fluctuating. There we will be discussing. For the time being, no interest is charged on partners' current account. Okay, now, here I am trying to explain with treatment now. Sir, what is treatment? Three things I am going to explain. What are those three things? And let me explain on this. Point number 1. Sufficient profit. Interest on capital will be paid. Then no profit, no interest on capital. Then insufficient profit. For example, interest on capital payable to partners say rupees 1 lakh. Available profit is 50,000. This is the best example of insufficient profit. So there is a Therefore, there is a insufficient profit. Then what will be the treatment? The treatment is available profit rupees 50,000 will be distributed to partners according to their capital ratios. It means according to their capital balances. Is this clear? According to their capital balances. That means here you got insufficient profit. I told you available profit 51 lakh. So this 50,000 you are distributing to whom? Partners according to their capital ratio. Generally, partners are entitled to get a profit according to profit sharing ratio. But in this case, insufficient profit you are giving according to their capital ratio. So that the reason is that interest on capital, simple words, is capital ratio, my dear friends. I'll explain what is capital ratio when I take up that after completion of this chapter. Capital ratio is nothing but according to their capital balances. According to their capital balances. So, at least you are satisfying to the partners, okay, we don't have profit, we don't have sufficient profit. You do one thing, this 50,000 let me give you according to your capital ratio, so that they'll be getting, the partners who have contributed more will be getting more. See, if I get contribution according to my investment, I will be happy. That is the logic behind this. So I've already explained you. Is this clear to all of you? So today's class, what is that I've explained to my dear friends? P&L appropriation account format I've explained you, and I've covered the treatment of interest on capital. Is this clear to all of you? Interest on capital treatment is that if you got sufficient profit, interest on capital will be paid. No profit, no interest on capital. Insufficient profit, for example, interest on capital payable to partners say 1 lakh, available profit 50,000. There is insufficient profit treatment. Available profit 50,000 will be distributed to partners according to their capital ratio. It means according to their capital balances. I think this, because we are explaining the concept of interest on capital, assuming subject to contract, we are treating as an appropriation. Appropriation means if you got profit, you can pay interest on capital. If you don't have profit, you can't pay. I think these things has been covered here. So I've already explained you interest on capital. Now I'll be explaining you. I think I need not tell you much about which one. Salary is simple. Account agreement, 500 rupees per month or 1000 rupees per month, 12 months, 12 into 500, 6000 or 12 into 1000, 6000. I think it is not an issue to be discussed. Partners commission is same like before charging or after charging. We have learned in final accounts about treatment of managerial commission. Now the problem is that we will need to discuss in appropriation account one more important point. This is important point I've explained you, and already net profit I've explained you, because net profit is being transferred from where it will be transferred from interest on, from profit and loss account. Now let me tell you, explain you about interest on drawings. See my dear friends, okay, interest on drawings. On interest on drawings, we are having three models for working out. In this A, If amount is withdrawn at regular intervals, if amount is withdrawn at regular intervals, first I am explaining this. If amount is withdrawn at regular intervals, if amount is withdrawn at regular intervals, say that is same amount, I can say. If same amount, let me put it, same amount is withdrawn at regular interval. Suppose A has decided to withdraw 500 rupees per month, right from the beginning of the year, right from the beginning of each month, January 1st, February 1st, March 1st. So example, A has $500 per month from beginning of each month. Okay, then let us assume rate of interest 5%. How to calculate interest? Beginning of each month. So what is that I have to calculate? On 500 rupees I have to calculate interest for 12 months now. Say for example, January month interest, month wise if you go. On 500 I have to calculate interest at the rate of 5% for 12 months now, because January 1st has withdrawn. February on 500 rupees at the rate of 5% for 11 months I have to calculate. For March I am following calendar year, on 500 at the rate of for how many months? 10 months. Like that 12, 11, 10, I should keep on calculating. Am I right? Instead of that, what I can do is that I can take average number of months. Just a minute. So A has withdrawn rupees 500. How to calculate interest? Then interest on drawings is equal to, what is amount withdrawn? 500 rupees into 12 months. 6,000 amount withdrawn. Into rate 5%. Okay. Now, see, you can take calculator if you want. As I told you, average. How average, sir? If he has withdrawn on January 1st, it is 12 months now. February means it is 11 months. March means it is 10 months. April means it is 9 months. May means, I repeat once again, January 12 months I have to calculate. February 11, like that, keep on. March 10. Then for 9 months I have to calculate. For 8 months I have to calculate. 7 months I have to calculate. 6 months I have to calculate. 5 months I have to calculate. 4 months I have to calculate. 3 months I have to calculate. 2 months I have to calculate. 1 month. You are getting 78 months. 78 if you add all those months. 78 by 12 you do. You will be getting 6.5. So 6.5 by 12. This is average of months. Instead of calculating like 500 into 5 by 100 into 12 by 12, 500 into 5 by 100 into 11 by 12, a numerator averages have taken. What is numerator average? First, if you are drawing the same amount of money in the beginning of each month starting from January 1st, January 12 months, February 12 months, if I take the average, it is coming to 6.5. Is this clear to all of you? You can cross check. So 6,000 into 5% rate of interest into 6.5 by 12. You'll be getting how much? 162.5 is the rate of interest. This is first example I have taken. If A is a partner has withdrawn rupees 500 per month, is this clear? Same, let me take same example. If A has withdrawn rupees 500 per month, rate of interest 5%, excuse me, A has withdrawn rupees 500 per month, rate of interest 5% in the middle of each month. In the middle of each month means, say January 15, 11 and a half months you have to calculate. If I am closing my books on 31st December, February 15, 500, March 15, 500. So like that, if I have to calculate month-wise interest, it's a cumbersome exercise. Now here how to calculate interest on drawings. So therefore, interest on drawings is equal to, again 500 into 12, how much? 6,000. This is withdrawn. 5 by 100 is the rate of interest, and here 6 by 12. If you want, you can cross check. You take calculator. January 15 to 31st December. How many months? 11 and a half months. Then you add 10.5. Then 9.5. Then 8.5. Then 7.5. Then 6.5. Then 5.5. Then 4.5. You calculate like this. I repeat once again. 11.5. 10.5, 9.5, 8.5, 7.5, you keep on adding it. 6.5, 5.5, 4.5, 3.5, 2.5, plus 1.5 plus 5.5 months. If you go for totaling 72. 72 is the total of numerator by 12, because you will be calculating average for 12 months, so 6 by 12. Are you following? Just to explain the reason I am telling you, in the books you don't find the reason. So if it is in the beginning of each month 6.5, it is in the middle of each month, tell me, same amount. I think if you calculate interest, 6,000 into 5% into 6 by 12, you'll be getting 150 rupees. Is this clear? 6,000 to 500, 5 by 100, 5%, 300. 300 into 6 by 12. How much you are getting? 150 rupees is the interest. So this is one more example. And third point, if A, three possibilities we are discussing. If A has withdrawn rupees 500 month on the last day of each month, rate of interest 5%. How to calculate interest on drawings? Is this clear? Now let me tell you. Interest on drawings. Is equal to, again, 6,000 rupees is per annum. 500 into 12 drawn. Rate by 100, 5. And here, if you look at the average, it is coming to 5.5. How you are getting 5.5? I told you, amount is withdrawn, same amount is withdrawn at the end of each month. What is end of each month? That is, say, for example, January 31st. So if you are withdrawing on January 31st, for how many months you have to calculate? 11 months. Take calculator again. If you are calculating from February, 10 months. So take 11 plus 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. How much you are getting? 66 total. By 12 you will be getting 5.5 months. So on average, how many months you are calculating? 5.5 months. If you look at the interest on drawings, so 6,000 into 5% into 5.5 by 12. You'll be getting 137.5. These are generally these three calculations are getting in the problem. In CPT, we used to give you long-term batches. If it is CPT, I used to give 3 more. If same amount is withdrawn at the beginning of each quarter, middle of each quarter, end of each quarter, if situation arises, we discuss. I think so far we have discussed about, come on, tell me, in this method, profit and loss appropriation account, I told you, interest on capital expense, interest on drawings. These two are significant. Okay, so that is what has been given as first working notes, and this is interest on capital and interest on drawings. These two are important. Then in this case, we are also having, and one more thing here, if same amount is withdrawn at regular intervals. Now B part of the question, if amount is withdrawn at irregular intervals, example, A has withdrawn the following amounts. Say, 1st July 2019, 5,000. Then 1st October 2019, rupees 10,000. Rate of interest 5% per annum. Rate of interest 5% per annum. Then rate of interest 5% per annum, and closing of books 31st December each year. Calculate interest on drawings. Calculate interest on drawings. We are having 3 methods, my dear friend. Ordinary method, product method, in most of the books you don't have this way of explanation, average due date method. Today's class will be discussing these 2 methods. Average due date method, we will be discussing in chapter called as average due date. Even if you calculate average due date chapter, this one, Even if you calculate under three methods, answer will be the same. Answer will be same. You calculate ordinary method, product method, or average due date method. Since we are having topic called as average due date, I am not taking this as an example. Now let me tell you how to calculate this interest on drawings. First, I am trying to explain which method. Ordinary method. Ordinary method. You take first date of drawings. Date of drawings. What is date of drawings? 1st July 19. Then again we are having 1st October 19. Date of drawings. Date of drawings. Number of months. Just a minute. Date. Amount will be easy for you to understand. Number of months and interest. This is what the four columns I am maintaining. Date, first July, 1st October, 1st December. Amount, I told you we are closing books on 31st December. Number of months up to 31st December. If you look at 1st July, how many months? 6 months. 1st October, November, December. 3 months you have to calculate interest. 1st December means 1 month. What is the amount? 5,000, 10,000, 5,000. How to calculate here interest? 5,000 into 5 by 100 into 6 by 12. How to calculate here? 10,000 into 5 by 100 into 3 by 12. Now, here 5,000, 5 by 100 into 1 by 12 I have to calculate. How to calculate you can see. 5,000 into 5% into 6 by 12. You are getting 125 rupees interest on amount drawn, because the amount is withdrawn at irregular intervals and amount is also not same. So we cannot apply the first method. That is why from this is normal method. From the date of drawings to date of closing of books, you have to calculate interest. Similarly, 10,000 into 5% into 3 by 12. 125. Now, 5,000 into 5% into 1 by 12. You are getting 20.83. Okay, 5,000 into 5% into 1 by 12. You are getting 20.83. If you look at the total, interest is coming to 270. Now, you should get the same answer when you do which method? Ordinary method. When you do product method, sorry. When you do average due date method also, you should get the same answer. Now here I am following which method? Just for discussion's sake, I think I will be taking 5 minutes more. But I think, my dear friends, in the examination, I think you prefer to go for which method? Ordinary method, or it is also called normal method. This product method is improvisation, because this is useful for understanding the concept of account current also. That is why I am explaining product method here. Date 17, 110, and 1 by 12. Then you write amount the number of months period, sorry, is same already 6 months. Number of months up to 31st December. This is okay. I think there also written number of months here up to 31st December. 6 months here, 3 months, 1 month. And fourth column, what I do is I am making as a column 1, column 2, column 3. Now column 4 is product. Product is column number 2 into 3. That is 30,000. Multiply these two. 30,000 65,000 total product. Now, interest on drawings under product method, we are having formula. Total product into rate by 100 into 1 by 12. What is total product? Tell me here. 65,000. Rate is how much? 5 by 100 into 1 by 12. You'll be getting same answer, 270.83. Sir, what is the difference, sir, here? The difference is simple. What we have done, you can see 5,000 here. 5,000 into 630, you know, the same thing I have done here. 5,000 into 6. 5,000 into 6. 10,000 into 3. 5,000 into 1. That has become product, no? 5,000 into 6. 10,000 into 3. See, ordinary method, I am telling you. You take last one, 5,000 into 5. 5,000 into 1, sorry. Now, so that is why we have taken product, total product. Total product, how you got? Amount into number of months. So if you look into it, the amount has been taken, product has been taken. Which has been left out for you to understand? 5 by 100 has been left out, 12 has been left out in the entire concept of product method, no? That is why if you look into it, what is that they have done? They made a formula. Total product. Total product means, come on, tell me, 5,000 to 6, 10,000 to 3. Then formula is rate by 100. What is rate by 100 common? 5 by 100. And what is that is not being taken? 12, no? By 12. It is coming 270.83, no? So answer is same or not? That means interest on drawings, when same amount is not withdrawn at regular intervals, you can calculate interest on drawings by going by ordinary method, product method. From the examination point of view, which method is preferable, my dear friends? This is the preferable one. Okay, better you follow this one. Okay, now coming back to this is only concept. However, we are discussing average due date method in average due date chapter. So I think 2 points we have discussed. When same amount is withdrawn at regular interval, it can be in the beginning of each month, it can be in the middle of each month, or it can be end of the each month. Is this clear? Then coming back to the second point, and the amount is withdrawn at irregular interval. Then third one is simple. If date of drawings are not given. If date of drawings are not given, then Interest on drawings is calculated on average basis for how many months? For 6 months. When the date of drawings are not given. If date of drawings are not given, interest on drawings is to be calculated on average basis. This is called as off-year convention. Average is neither profit nor loss to anybody. We discussed that in chapter called as inventory. What is average or average rate we can discuss. So for the time being, we have learned the how to calculate interest on drawings. Same amount is withdrawn at regular intervals. Amount is withdrawn at irregular intervals when date of drawings are not given. So with this, we have learned P&L appropriation, and I told you manager commission is before charging or after charging. We have learned in the form of final account. Generally, that won't be so important for foundation. Previously, this topic was also there in IPCC, the old syllabus. I think the question came exposed on this for 8 marks, having all these things, appropriation, that is commission to partners, etc. But at foundation level, we haven't seen. I think this is straightforward, simple chapter. So tomorrow, what I do, I'll be explaining you once again the second one. I told you 2 things I'll be discussing in this particular chapter, my dear friends. So today's class I've explained you. Learning objective of today's class I told you. So the actual chapter starts from this. I told you. Learning chapter. I think this chapter starts from this. This chapter starts from this. Okay. Chapter starts from this. That is just for basics. Now, appropriation I've explained. Tomorrow's class I'll be discussing which one? Methods of capital. This I am discussing tomorrow's class. That is the next class. And then we will move on to, after completion of this, we work out some problems. With that, we'll be completing fundamentals. Then we can go for goodwill chapter before going for admission, retirement, and death. Okay, systematically we go. I think today's class we are having some clarity. Only you focus on these things. Before I go into that, I have a concept, have a clarity. I started saying that partnership final accounts. But these chapters has already been learned. Even if a question comes about partnership final accounts, just for namesake I am telling you, you won't be getting namesake if somebody is going to ask you to do partnership final account. If he is a manufacturer, you need to do manufacturing account, trading account, P&L account, appropriation account, then you will be learning methods of capital account, because balance sheet, to do balance sheet, you need to learn methods of capital account. I think that you can do it. If he is not a manufacturer, you start trading account format is same, P&L account format is same, only extra thing appropriation. To go to balance sheet, format is also same, only one extra thing you should learn, methods of capital. That means if you learn these 2 things, can you do partnership final accounts or not? You can do partnership final accounts. I hope this discussion is useful to you. Okay, let me conclude for the day. Tomorrow I'll be completing methods of capital account, and then time permits I'll be taking you few problems on appropriation account, few problems on that is including methods of capital account. Okay, thank you very much. God bless you all. We'll see in the next class. We'll meet in the next class.